Hello folks, it's Transformation Master 54321 here, and I'm going to read the Goodra TF. So, let's go. Still looking for that old book, Stephen? Stephen looked up to see his best friend George standing over him. His head thankfully broken out the sun behind him so that he could see his blonde hair, hazel eyes, and plain shirt. To be fair, Stephen had the same clothes on for this was a training school in Westboro City. Everyone who wanted to be a trainer came here. Most of them once they hit 10, eager to start the journey, while those who wanted to become specialists in the field type himself stayed for a number of years. George wanted to be a coordinator. In fact, he had accused of being a little girly like his father and pink and such. Steve wanted to be a dragon tamer. He loved dragons, the cool ones, the beautiful ones, the ones that sort of looked like dinosaurs. Stephen wanted them. Really, he loved dragons so much he wouldn't mind being one. What set Stephen further apart from sharing his name with Reader's most famous person, Stephen Stone, was his hair. A dull green, now different hair color was in fact a normal in the Pokemon, but Stephen's career choice had his dazzling amber colored eyes had been set off as a little different. First had the two oddballs, Stephen and George, being thrown together and become like one pal. Close to the text on Dragon Lore, Stephen studied his friend more closely. His eyes were definitely filled with worry, despite the calmness of his voice. At 15, it was soon time to sit for exam. While Stephen was going to be a written test, George had already had this, as it was a practical exam. Despite having a cosplay picture inside, George had failed miserably. And again, none of the people for the test of the students, always being stunted onto students at given any time. Stephen knew that all predictions showed he was on the court to succeed with dazzling colours. His test, making him feel a little awkward knowing his friends had already failed, and that he would have to leave the school and him if it passed was hard to take. Hence why he was looking through his old book. He had said that, "Yep, I'm done now," Stephen said, the sound almost making sense. What do you have planned for the rest of the day? Nothing, I have lessons. But why take them when I've already failed? His voice was tense and angry. Stephen quickly stood up, having to look up to his tall best friend. "You can retake. I hope you. I know I'll do whatever it takes to get you soon. I fail." George was quickly calm, but his voice still soft. So, "I can't let you do that. You have your own life, and I'm not going to get in the way of your dreams. Also, I can retake, but what with? I'm so never Pokemon Lightning. If only we had our own Pokemon." "Yeah, but if this is with a Magikarp, anyway, want a cupcake for still that charity bake sale going on?" Steve had an idea. It wasn't much, but it might help. "So I'll go get them for you. You just relax." George saw the determined look Stephen had and shrugged. "If you want, I'll pay you back." Stephen had already left her. He was going to find the best cake there. The charity was for homeless Pokemon and was going to be run by two girls. It looked like two of the older students, but not any he knew. Then again, he knew fewer people among the other years. Coming straight up, piece of flavor cakes. There were the usual stuff: ice cakes, chocolate cakes, something to choose from. "I will take these two." Stephen looked up to the new girl. One he definitely didn't recognize. Dark-skinned, black-dressed, with a bangle hand in taken. Stephen studied them, noticing that both were warm to a touch, as if freshly baked. One had a little blue sugar ribbon on it, and the other purple icing with a shape like a dragon's head. He wasn't sure why, but he felt a little disconcerted that this girl knew his and George's interests. He knew about it. Was about to ask, but the girl had already left. "Well, they did look good. Taking some coins," he gave them to one of the confused girls and ran on. George was still in the same place and chased Stephen with the cupcakes, so over to the favourite spot, just under one of the trees. This one so huge that nobody would really miss her. Stephen handed them with a ribbon cupcake. And George ran, "Excuse me, and I see you got a dragon." Arthur Gurley suggested him. I don't know who she was. I'm not going to complain. Oh, we're not such an either. These kick-ups that were made for us. Happy began munching. Stephen didn't know what George's taste like. But his was really good. Maybe a little too much. Still, it was sweet that the cake itself was refreshingly fluffy. Nice, very nice indeed. That boy sighed contentedly, just sitting against the trunk of a tree. Shortly after, Stephen felt his nose as he scratched it only for it to get worse. He continued scratching, hearing the sound. George turned to him and smiled good naturally. Will you stop that? It's getting annoying. Steve looked up, seeing how startled George was. What? Your nose is purple. What? It was true. Stephen's nose was a very light purple. Amazed as he was, Stephen felt his nose put forward, making him grin. His nose was too wide and less visible from his mouth. I felt rather sloppy for some reason. In fact, his whole skin did. His bottom jaw turned into a deeper shade of purple as a stringy mass of goo dribbled out of the pores, and his chin making a green, icky beard. His ears were soon lost as the feeling of gooey skin traveled around, making Stephen's hair fall off. First was replaced by two short Turner and two thick gooey ponytails, with curls at the end that stretched out behind him. His eyes shifted as he went closer to the sides of his head. Alpha now completed and became wide and more oval. His once beautiful amber-colored eyes changed to a dancing green around mouth. Two green spots that formed below his eyes. No longer feeling wonder at the changes, Stephen started to freak out. What's happening to me? George was just as frightened as he was. I think you're changing into a Goodra. Stephen just stared at George as his brain began processing this. He was becoming a dragon. Favorite type, yet over part it wanted to be one, yet you wanted to trade dragon. It's a cookie, isn't it? George and Dobby. Why am I not changing? I don't know. They couldn't think anymore as Stephen's neck suddenly opens, getting longer. In fact, his whole body was getting bigger. He only began about 1.7 meters before, but an added 30 centimeters was actually quite tame. Soon, he towered above George as his body started bulging around his waistline, and as he began settling lower to the ground, his clothes ripping as they did, unable to spoil the changes. His inside stood to feel that bad. Not much changed apart from an insane squishy feeling that man's body, but Stephen was still starting to find that his new body was beginning to feel more natural than a human body. He guessed this was down to his brain, assimilating new information about him, even drawing from the books he read. Stephen hoped he would still be himself at the end of it. His skin now changed color and texture, kind of like gooey scales, purple in color with darker shade running down his middle. His shoulders cut back and softened slightly, making Stephen realize that his has become more malleable to match with his new muscles and skin. His arms were pulled into his body, making him smaller. It became hard to see where his upper arm ended, lower arm began. Stephen could just about feel his elbows, but that was the only hit. His hand began feeling squashed as the nails fingers were lost as it began merging, giving two fingers apart. Small pores on his skin opened again and little drips of green goo came out. Not to laugh frankly, and Stephen even felt more power in his part. Stephen's legs began to bend awkwardly, forcing him to sit on the floor quite heavily on his now bigger behind. He watched dazzled as his thighs increased in width and size, positioning themselves more firmly on his large pelvis. The lower parts of his legs were now shorter, closer to the ground. Stephen even wondered whether they were not gone completely, and he just had the more upright ankle. His feet became smaller, and once that they tried to stand, again merged to form only two on each. But he thought that if he tried to stand, he would topple over to his body, told if loose grissiness would actually support him. There was only one thing left, and felt slimy. But Stephen felt something grow from behind him. It was thick, large, and very pale. He washed it so cold that he heard it. 3 green spots were the underside of the top measure, 2 distant colours purple, a light lilac and a dark lavender form. He wriggled it this way and that way, and he knew it was complete. Stephen was indeed a Goodra, but why? But Stephen's gaze rested back on George, looking completely numb. Now he knew why. He got drug attacks. George was corners. George could help to pass without a trusted program, as Steve had thought he would do anything to get into something. Being a dragon tamer did deceive Hacker. Maybe that mysterious skill had thought to solve perfect problems by changing him. Stephen felt suddenly positive about the future and had the crazy urge to hug his best friend. So did. He ran up to him awkwardly and gave him a big hug. George snapped out of his trance. What the heck, Stephen? Stephen got off him and tried to explain. Goodra, good. He couldn't. Horse think of years to tell George to wait. He waddled off, giving his friend a moment to try and get a guru of himself. Stephen came back with pen and paper and wrote his thoughts, also mentioning that he still felt like himself. George looked up at his paper rosily for some time before looking up at his friend. So you wanted me to have my dreams so much that now you have me back. Stephen nodded enthusiastically and said, showing good. George looked unsure for a moment before brightening up. Well, if that's what you wish, I'm not going to stop you. Stephen yelled happily and hugged him again, making George wince a little, but with a smile. I'm going to get used to the hugs, aren't I? They still one laugh. George asking Stephen what the tax he knew so he could formulate a contest plan. Watching them go and picking up the remains of the cookies, the girl smiled. I must admit, I did kill 2 pitties with 1 stone. I wonder if my colleague is feeling this movie. Well, folks, that's the whole Goodra TF. It may be a bit pause of that, but I was reading on paper and that, so you gotta get used to it like that. Well, folks, that's it for this TF.